Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm doing my Plan With Me video. So let's get going. We are going to sort of get close to wrapping up May, but not quite. It's one of those things. Okay, so let's talk about all the things I drew this past week. I have had company. I have been very, very busy. So I did a foot study yesterday. I don't draw a lot of feet. I would like to get better at drawing them, but like feet and foreshortening, that's really, really difficult. Okay, I did a two-face portrait. Sounds harsher than it is. I did a blue pelican. Oh, I love my birds. I did that one with the ink. Oh, and I apologize for all the noises outside. A pastel landscape. I finally used my pastel landscape set for an actual landscape. Giving that a whirl, seeing what that looks and feels like. I did an ink serval. So if you like wild cats, that was one. I did a cat with a poem. I don't know how successful this one was, but it makes me laugh. I'll throw up a picture. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like if you took a stuffed animal and pushed it face down on a Xerox copier and then like tried to scan the face of the stuffy. Like it's really hard to see the face, and I wanted to add water and weird layers even though the paper isn't sized. So that's kind of how it turned out. It's not a success, but it was tons of fun. And that's, to me, that's a win. Having fun is definitely a win. I did a pink and gold portrait. So really feeling the portraits. And then for videos, I did the Ferris wheel press. I'm just doing abbreviations here. I did an ink review after having them for a year. Sort of the pros and cons. The pros are the cons, the cons are the pros, and it's kind of like that with art supplies sometimes. And then this was a week 20 Plan With Me video. So that's what the week looked like, and we still have almost a full, oh May, why are you so long? Okay, and I have a bookmark in here with my pencil because I was trying to remind myself that I wanted to do colored pencil today. Yes, lean into the moods. So I have my June notes, even though we're still sort of finishing out May. I'm just sort of trying to do 2 pages per each month, but it's gonna be wonky probably come December, and that's okay. There may be extra space, and in which case I'll just do an extra doodle if that's what it comes to. So I'm going to draw the portrait over here, and then I'm going to write the things over here. And I typically start with, what I've drawn. Okay, so I did 2 portraits. Gosh, I love portraits. I did 2 cats, even though one was a serval. I'm calling them cats. I did a bird, one foot study. I've done a hand study, I've done a foot study, and I've done a figure drawing study this June challenge. So I'm definitely breaking out of the types of things I typically do and throwing in some stuff I need to do. And then 1 landscape. There's no saying what you have to do when you do your sketchbooks and fill them out and all the things, but I really enjoy the challenge of drawing things I haven't drawn in a long time. So we'll say week 20 video. I do love a good challenge. Okay. And you can tell because I'm doing back-to-back drawing challenges. I'm doing weekly Plan With Me challenges. Like I do all the things. Yes. Ferris wheel press, ink review video. Okay. So that was my week. Plus we had company. Plus world domination. I will link all the supplies and everything I'm using, including this really pale gray pen. If you are interested in things like that, let me zoom in a little bit. Okay. I often feel that planners are like a very personal thing. And from using planners every single year for the past 5 years in a row, I've really come to see what I like and don't like, and I'm done with grids, and I really like the dates and things to be, and the dividers to be unobtrusive, and I like this amount of space. Like, it's very custom to me. And you kind of have to go through years of trying different things to figure out what you like. So I'm color penciling today. I'm going to do it monochromatically. This is the Caran d'Ache Luminous. This is the Malachite Green 180. This is very much a convenience color. It's very much a really pretty teal. I love this color. And to make this color, I would have to layer at least 2 colors of my 36 Faber-Castell Polychromos set to make this. So instead of trying to make this every single time I wanted to use this, I just bought the convenience color. So we're gonna start with an eye, and I may just go really big with this one. I kind of went smaller last week so you could get more like of hairstyles and stuff. Gotcha's pouty lip. Okay. So I thought maybe this week I would go huge, and maybe we just get real weird with it this way. So, and I'm trying not to put my wrist over the drawing. Sometimes when I look back at the videos I've done, I'm like, you can't even see me drawing because my whole wrist is like in the way. And I apologize for that. That makes things really, really difficult if you're trying to follow along and draw what I'm drawing. Is colored pencil my favorite thing on Tomoe River? No, my favorite thing on Tomoe River is probably ink, just because it's such a smooth glide with the coating. But I was in a colored pencil mood, and I learned years ago that if I don't lean into my moods, I get burnout, and I am not a happy art creator, happy artist. And that's all I want to be, is a happy artist. So if my mood says we're doing colored pencil, we're doing colored pencil. So we'll do colored pencil for these next 2 weeks, and then as we get into June, we're going to switch to animals. And then I thought maybe it would be fun to do some like interesting watercolor combinations. If you want to really expand some of your color theory, if you like granulating watercolors and want to see what that's about, we could do some really quick, like whatever I can get done in, you know, a 15-20 minute plan with me video of an animal and some interesting watercolor, because I have some fun stuff within the amount of things I own. I know it doesn't sound like it, because I kind of only talk about the main primary watercolors I use, which is my Schmincke, but I have some tubes of stuff. 10 out of 10 recommend having stuff. And my tubes are really light fast, they're granulating, they're weird, so I can make my own combinations and not have to worry about things being wonky. Because sometimes companies sell convenience colors of granulating stuff, and that's like kind of the latest, buy me, I'm new, you need me. That's kind of the latest fad right now, with companies coming out with unique stuff. Especially Schmincke, they've been coming out with a lot of convenience granulating watercolors. Like, you need this, you should buy this. I know you have this set or you have this product, but do you have these? No, I don't need those. I make my own, and I know they're light fast, and I know they work, and they're combinations I know I'll use. So we can do some of that. That's a lot of fun. And we can do 2 colors, we can do 3 colors, and really get strange. So I'm looking forward to that. I like doing these quick little portrait studies in different mediums every week. This has been a lot of fun. If you're not a portrait person, this probably hasn't been the most fun for you, and I apologize. It can be hard to find the people that draw all the things you enjoy drawing on the internet. Like, they may draw one thing you like, and then the rest of their subject matter may not be things that interest you. And that happens. That happens to me when I'm following along with other artists that I enjoy watching their videos. They're either using a medium I'm super interested in, or it's their subject matter. Very rarely is it a combination of the two. So, can you see that? It's an eye. We have an eyeball going, and we're gonna kind of do some lower lash situation and get it really weird and wonky. I'm in the mood to make things big. So, we don't need full head, we don't need full hair, we don't need all the things this week. So if you want to get better at portraits or learn some of these things, you can concentrate on specific parts of the body and expound out. So take your main goal, which would be, for example, just learning portraits. And you would break that up into tiny goals and reverse engineer it. So you'd be like, well, I need to learn eyes. I need to learn ears. I need to learn nose. I need to learn lips. And then I need to understand the proportion and the placement between those so it looks, if you're going for realism, so it looks realistic if that's the style you're really interested in learning. So reverse engineer your goals and break them up in chunks. And when they're manageable and smaller like that, it feels much more attainable. It feels less overwhelming. You're like, well, I'm just drawing eyeballs this month. No biggie. And then if you wanted to get weird, you could be like, well, I'm doing chameleon eyeballs. I'm doing a cuttlefish. I'm doing a goat. Like I'm thinking of animals that have really weird eyeballs. Like goats have a like a horizontal iris. Cuttlefish, it's a really weird shape. Chameleons, just because, oh my gosh, chameleons are amazing. There's a bunch of animals and stuff that have really weird eyeballs. So it doesn't even have to be people. If you want to learn and like get better at drawing reptiles or cold-blooded animals, amphibians, start with eyes. Eyes are fun. There's a lot of quotes about that. Eyes are the windows to the soul. I don't know. I have brown eyes. It's not too deep. My husband has really pretty green eyes. He's a brunette with really pretty green eyes. It's not fair. His favorite color is green. So he leans into it hard. We're here for it. Okay. All right. Let's do a little bit of eyebrow. And again, you decide like how trimmed is this eyebrow? How shapely is this eyebrow? Is this, can you tell gender from eyebrow? That's kind of a really interesting specific thing, isn't it? Maybe you're drawing genderless people, like maybe it's not about the gender, it's about the drawing and the creating. Maybe you're going for something specific. If you want to get into like commissions and drawing loved ones or loved ones of other people, infants, newborns, birthdays, milestones, anniversaries, things like that. That's always a really good way to get into commissions and drawing. I will draw your pet, things like that. People love getting a new puppy, and then the puppy stage is real quick. You know, they're not a puppy for very long. So there's ways to commemorate that with art and creating and whatever medium you prefer. But eyes, getting good at eyes. Okay. So we're starting with an eye. And maybe we'll go into, I need to remove this page flag. Yes, we'll go into some color. I don't know how much color I'm going to give this. We could just keep going down the line. Maybe this breaks apart into like bird silhouettes or something. Yeah. Coloring. Monday morning coloring, except this is afternoon and we're moving at the pace of me. So the pace of me on a Monday, I'm not gonna lie, it's not quick. We're not quick. I start my morning in bed. I read a little bit while I eat breakfast because I'm doing homeschooling stuff. So it's whatever the kids need. But that's how I start my morning. I do not rise and shine. I rise and bump into things. I rise and say, give me a moment, please. Your mom is confused. Who put this wall here? Okay, and then we can make this all kinds of weird and wonderful. Okay, so it's primarily just eyeball. You know, if you want to do hair coming out or something strange. Strange is always an option. Getting weird with it's always an option. You know, having the face break apart and turn into ants or fingers or, I don't know, apple pies. Like you could really, I mean, the amount of strange you can do with this stuff is just limitless. So it's a lot of fun. I love art. I love people's imaginations. I love when people get weird with it and do weird stuff. I'm here for it. I'm here for the unique and the surprising. I don't always do the unique and surprising, so when I see other people that do, I'm like, yes, have the courage to be weird and strange. I like it. I don't always have that. I definitely don't always have that on a Monday. So, and I don't know what I'm drawing today. Later in the afternoon in my sketchbook. I'll probably do colored pencil just because I'm in the mood. I've been in the watercolor mood too, and I can't watercolor in the sketchbook at all, so I'm glad July is coming because by then I'm going to be itching to watercolor a lot. So if my whole July is World Watercolor Month, that's going to be awesome. What I haven't done a lot of this year, and since the year's almost half over and I need to evaluate and assess my goals and all the things, is I haven't done very much charcoal. So that is something I'm going to have to be cognizant of and make sure I create a special space for that in this year, in this drawing challenge. So I have that as something available. I need to make sure that, you know, my charcoals are sharpened, they're looking good. I don't always sharpen them. I need like X-Acto blades and stuff. So but some of my charcoal pencils are really hard to sharpen. Okay, so that's what I'm calling the face, and maybe I'll do a little cheek highlight a little bit. I don't know if you can see this. This is such a smooth colored pencil. I'm kind of smeared out. Okay, this is this is my drawing for the week. Just a little colored pencil doodle. You know, something fun, something weird. I do love colored pencil. I never thought that that would be a medium I enjoyed, and I do. I love it so much, especially if you work small and you like fine details. Colored pencil. If you work like at the A6 size, it's very nice. Okay, so this is my drawing. We get an eye. An eye for an eye. I know, I'm going to keep messing with it if I don't stop. But I'm not mad at that either. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful week, and I will talk to you later. Bye.